Okay, so let's unpack this. We often talk about getting smart quickly on a big topic. Today we're going to do that by looking at something really specific, a single piece of AV hardware.
Right. We're using the Aurora Multimedia PS0081-1-UK power supply injector as our guide for today.
And our mission here is to figure out how a $60 power injector,
Just about, yeah.
how that becomes so central to these huge conversations about global trade, government contracts, even the future of AV installs.
Exactly. It's a perfect example of how much can rest on, the most basic seeming components.
So let's start with the name itself, PS0081-1-UK. It sounds super technical.
It is, but it tells you almost everything you need to know. It's a power supply injector, and the key thing is that it's PoE capable.
Power over Ethernet.
Power over Ethernet. And that capability is, it's just foundational for modern AV systems, especially AV over IP.
Which is just a fancy way of saying you're sending video and audio over a standard computer network.
Precisely. And this little box lets you power your devices, say a touch panel on the wall, through that very same cable. You don't need to run a separate power line.
And what about the actual power numbers? I see 48 volts DC and 24 watts. Does that limit what you can run with it?
That's a great question. I wouldn't call it a limitation so much as a specialization.
Okay.
That 48-volt, 24-watt profile is really the sweet spot for those smaller, critical devices, the control layer of a big system.
And the gigabit part just means it's fast enough for modern networks. It's not going to be a bottleneck.
You got it. It can handle the data for high-def video without breaking a sweat.
So, okay, the technology is sound. It solves a real-world installation problem. But in the professional AV world, the differentiator often isn't just the tech, right?
Yeah.
It's the paperwork.
Oh, absolutely. The specs are only half the battle.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
This product has two huge non-technical features stamped right on it. It's tariff-free, and it's TA compliant.
And the company says being tariff-free makes it a more budget-friendly solution. That's a pretty clear win for any integrator watching their bottom line.
It is. But the TAA compliance, that's the real gatekeeper.
TAA being the Trade Agreements Act.
Right. And you can think of TAA compliance as the official stamp of approval the U.S. government needs before it can even consider buying a piece of hardware.
So this little injector goes from being a commodity to a key component for secure, regulated infrastructure. For government, for military.
Any of those TAA-approved projects.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's wild that a $60 part carries that much weight.
And the manufacturer clearly knows how important this is. They offer this huge support package, lifetime phone, chat, email support.
That's not just for convenience. That's a signal. It tells you this device is going into mission-critical installations where downtime is just not an option.
So if we pull back a bit, where does this injector fit into the bigger picture?
It's right at the heart of the Aurora Multimedia ecosystem. They're all about AV over IP and modular matrix switchers.
So it's designed to power their own gear.
Exactly. We see it's meant for things like the Reaca control touch panels, their device controllers, the brains of the operation that they showcase at big trade shows.
I see a mention of a beamforming Dante mic as well.
Yeah, that's for future systems. And Dante, for anyone listening, is just the standard for sending professional audio over a network.
So this one power injector is handling the juice for the control, the data, and the audio systems.
All of it. And you see it sold alongside other high-end gear, like a nearly $400 rack mount kit and professional 4K HDMI cables. It shows that every single piece, down to the power supply, has to be pro-grade.
So what's the big takeaway here? Our deep dive on this one little device showed that in the pro AV world, the electrical specs, the 48 volts, the 24 watts, are almost secondary.
They're important, but
the real value is in the commercial compliance, the TAA approval, the tariff-free status. That's what determines who can even buy it.
Absolutely. That's what dictates market access and, at the end of the day, profitability.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to mull over.
Right. So for you to think about, given how critical this TA compliance is for winning those big contracts, what are the unseen costs, the logistical headaches for a manufacturer who might have incredible technology but just doesn't meet those specific regulatory standards? What does it really cost them in the global market?